Dear students, let's see the poem Photograph written by Shirley Toulson once again. So, we are revising this poem today. Listen to the explanation very carefully. Shirley Toulson wrote the poem Photograph in memory of her dead mother. So, she has paid tribute to her mother by writing this poem. Photographs capture a moment in time and also the emotions felt at the time when the photograph was taken. One day, she finds an old photograph of her mother pasted on a cardboard sheet, and the photograph she remembered her mother talking about her with fondness. So let's see line wise analysis of this poem. See the very first line, the cardboard shows me how it was. The cardboard here refers to the photograph. It shows me here, the narrator. It shows the narrator, that is a poet, how it was on that particular day. The cardboard's lack of durability, it hints at the lack of permanence of human life. When the two girl cousins they went paddling, so when these two girl cousins, that is Dolly and Betty, who are the cousins of poet's mother, they were along with poet's mother, they went paddling on the beach. See the third line, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she the big girl, some 12 years or so. Each of the cousins, they held one of her mother's hands, and her mother, was the eldest one, and she was standing in the middle, and the two girls, they were standing on the sides holding her hands. All three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. So, all three means the poetess mother and her cousins. So, all these three of them stood smiling, their hair strewn across their face, possibly tossed by the beach wind, as her mother's uncle clicked their picture with the camera. So, poetic device alliteration is used here as in stood still to smile. You know what alliteration device is? Repetition of the sound. So, in this line, stood still a smile, sir sound is repeated. A sweet face, my mother's, that was before I was born. So, her mother's face was sweet, and the picture was taken much before the poet was born. And the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. So the sea in the picture is still the same today. It has changed very less. And in the picture, it seems to wash their feet, which by nature are transient, because human life is short lived as compared to nature. Terribly transient feat. See the poetic divide. Transferred epithet. Human life itself is temporary for the not the feat. When the adjective for one noun like life is transferred to another noun like feet, it is called transferred epithet. And second one, alliteration due to the repetition of the sound T. Synecdoche, when a part of something presents a whole. Here, feet, that is a part of the body, represent the whole of humankind. So, in this transferred epithet, three poetic devices are used. One is transferred epithet, second one alliteration, and third is synecdoche. Let's see the next part. Some 20-30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot. See, Betty and Dolly, she would say, and just look how they dressed us for the beach. So, some 20-30 years later, from when the picture was clicked, her mother looked at the snapshot and laughed. So she pointed out her cousins Betty and Dolly and talked nostalgically about how oddly they used to be dressed for the beach. The sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter. The sea holiday was remembered by her mother with a fondness as well as a sense of loss, as that time would never return. Similarly, her laughter means laughter of the mother, could never be seen by the poet, as she was no more now. The sea holiday was the poet's mother's past, and her mother's laughter is the poet's past. Both try with the labored ease of loss. Both made a lot of effort. Both means the poet as well as her mother. They made a lot of effort to overcome or ease in their sense of loss. The loss of the holiday and the laughter have to be accepted as a part of life. They are in the past and cannot be brought back or relived, but there will always be a tinge of difficulty letting them go completely. Poetic device oxymoron. So, the coming together of two opposite ideas to describe the same entity. So, labored and easy, they are opposite words, but describing the same entity. What entity? The loss. They have lost something. And now she has been about nearly as many years as that girl lived. So now it has been 12 years since her mother passed away. The girl in the photograph seems like a different person altogether. Thus, the use of the words that girl. So, her mother passed away, leaving behind the memories and photographs like this one. And of this circumstance, there is nothing to say at all. What circumstances? Circumstance that is death of the mother. So nothing can be said about this situation. It is a part of life. And on thinking about it, one can find no words to express the pain one feels. And its silence silences. The silence of the whole situation silences the poet, makes her quiet. Her mother is dead, and she finds herself in a state where it's not possible for her to say anything. Only emptiness remains, and in other words, she is left speechless. See the poetic devices. Alliteration, the sound of S has been repeated, still silent. Personification, it refers to the circumstance, which is a non living thing, expressing a human trait of staying silent. And silence refers to complete absence of sound. The mother's absence silenced the poet by sadness, where her grief was too much to overcome, and it makes her unable to say anything. And the poem describes three stages. In the first stage, the photograph shows the poet's mother standing at the beach enjoying her sea holiday with her two girl cousins, Betty and Dolly, and she was 12-year-old, the eldest among them. And the second stage takes us 20 or 30 years later. The mother would laugh at the way she and her cousins, Betty and Dolly, were dressed up for beach holidays. And in the third stage, the poet remembers the mother with a heavy heart. The photograph revives a nostalgic feeling in the poet. So, I hope you are very well aware of the poem now. It has been described thoroughly again for you.